Welcome to Voice of the Box. Today I've got John Horton, who is the founder, if I believe, we want to make sure we get titles correct. You are the founder of Flying Colors Creative. Did I get the title and the company name right? That is kind of a key thing to be accurate.
Well, that's the key thing. Founder, principal, executive producer, chief popcorn seller, whatever you want to call me, that'll work.
Well, since you've got a lot of titles, we've got a lot to cover, so let's get right to it. Tell me, John, how would you, in summary, I know this is sometimes a little tough, but in summary, how would you describe what Flying Colors Creative does?
Flying Colors Creative started back in 2001. I used to be a full-time employee of Fox Sports Net and decided I wanted to pretty much have my own properties. I had been developing television shows for so many other people for so long. I wanted to have my own property, so I started my own television production company, and it evolved from doing television programs for television stations and regional television networks to actually having individual clients where I did things from as simple as videos for individual sports teams, to commercials, to full-blown television productions, to documentaries. So it literally took what was just half-hour television shows, and then the creative part was now I'm doing all things from graphic production to design work to everything that was flying out of the box. So it was quite an eye-opener as opposed to just sitting there and editing and producing all the time. I had gone from being a jack of all trades to being a jack of more trades than I could have ever imagined.
You know, that's interesting because people that are interested or just learning about different roles and different careers within the sports industry, this is a pretty interesting niche. It's not on air; it's what's going on behind the scenes, so to speak. So, tell me, you know, you've got some landmark clients. I know we want to make sure that we promote your business the best way possible, all the while telling us a little bit about, you know, your day to day and what really happens in the life of Flying Colors Creative. So, I believe you do some work with the Husky Video Board at University of Washington. Perhaps is it also do some indoor work at Bank of America Arena? There's a lot that goes on to that. Maybe if you could summarize, you know, what does a typical work week or work day look like? You know, you're your own business. You've created this for yourself. I want to give as clear of a vision as I can to my viewers about what it's like in what you do.
My main season is from September through March, which is football and basketball season, because that's where most of my work comes in. I used to have a show for King 5 Television called the King 5 High School Sports Blitz, which morphed itself into HS Gametime, which covered high school sports from all over Western Washington and throughout the state of Washington. And along with King 5, I would produce a high school sports show every Friday night. Editing overnight every Friday night for 30 weeks for, I think it was 7 years. Wow. To put a show on every Saturday morning. Around about 4 years into that, suddenly I got UW as a football client, where I would be doing their scoreboard shows for Husky Stadium and also their shows for in arena for volleyball, for football, for men's basketball, women's basketball, and gymnastics.
Just a few things.
Just a few things. And then also outside clients, Baden Sports needed marketing videos for their basketball and volleyball lines. The Rat City Roller Girls, which is a very popular roller derby league, moved into Key Arena. They needed video for their big screen operations. I've also talked to other sports teams in this town that have video board presentations and have worked with them. So new clients come to me all the time just wanting little things or wanting full-blown video presentations. And I think my specialty is the fact that I can take a question as simple as, what do we need, and give them a big answer of everything that they need, and still be providing them with a service of giving them even more than they ever thought that they need, despite the fact that they may not have thought of it in the original answer.
I appreciate that you give me a little background about what you are doing right now with your company. I must ask, let's pull back a little bit and talk a little bit about, there was an aha moment somewhere that got you into the sports industry. I know that you were a producer, I know an executive producer somewhere in your background as well, again, Fox Sports Net, maybe some local affiliates. How did you break in? I'm going to assume a few things, but you're going to clarify for me.
Sure.
That you're a sports fan and you wanted to find a way that, combined maybe two of your skills or two of your passions. How did you break into the industry as a whole? Let's, however far back you want to go.
Well, if you will indulge me, my aha moment...
This is the summary, by the way.
Yes. My aha moment came at age 9.
Wow. So just a few years ago. Okay.
Just a few years ago. I was honored to be able to go to the 1972 Olympics with my dad, who was a member of the Olympic Committee. And one of his clients was Bill Toomey, who won the 68 decathlon at Mexico City. And after dinner one night, Bill Toomey said, I want you to come in and meet a few people. And so we went in, and sitting there was Howard Cosell, Chet Forty, who was one of the best directors in television, Chuck Howard, who was at that time the producer of Wide World of Sports and the main Olympic producer, and a lot of other producers that I just didn't know because they were so behind the scenes, but I knew who Chet Forty and Chuck Howard were. And I was like, wow, that's pretty amazing to be amongst these people. Well, they sat me down right next to Cosell. And what's a 9-year-old kid going to talk to Howard Cosell about? Well, an hour and a half later, we were still talking. Now, my dad has told me this story over and over. I have memories of it, but he has told me the story. But the part of the story that I did not know is that behind the scenes, everybody was hearing me talk to Cosell, and they said, where did this kid come from? Can we do a story on him? Because obviously he knows a lot about sports. He loves the Olympics. He's talking to Cosell. He's keeping him engaged. Cosell's people are talking to my dad. And the next day, the hostage situation happens.
Yeah.
So things happen.
Sure.
When my parents, we decided we're going off to London, but at that moment, being around those people, I said, I want to go into sports television. Didn't know how I wanted to, but I knew I wanted to do that. So you asked what the aha moment was. Age 9, I knew I wanted to go into sports television.
That's a great story, by the way, and it's. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you, but
that's okay.
And I'm also thinking, obviously the '72 Olympics. That's another story in and of itself, of terms of what happened. A lot of the viewers and perhaps this demographic may not even know who Howard Cosell is, which is a shame.
Pretty amazing.
Or Chet Forty, all these people that grew up like you and I, probably watching ABC's Wide World of Sports. That was sports TV in my mind. So that's a really fantastic story. I appreciate you sharing that.